guys, welcome back to Welcome Home Custom. Today we are going to learn how to put together our frame and no frame square diamond quilt. Let's get started. Let's jump into walking through the square diamond quilt with and without a frame. So first and foremost, with a frame, we have in the files, cut by color, we have our master files. In our cut by color, we have an acrylic insert for the frame. We have the colors listed, birch, cherry, mahogany, and walnut. I painted my birch blue. And then we also have an inset. So the biggest difference between cut by color and your master files is how you are going to use them. Cut by color, all of these have a 0.002 inch offset to help pieces fit tighter. Your shared line and your separated master, your shared line is exactly what it says. These are not shapes. All of these are individual lines that are shared to make up the quilt in total. Now, you could change your interior lines to a score and cut your red and use this as a backer if you have a laser that is that big. That is what your shared line is for. It is for bigger lasers. You have a separated master. This is made so that all of your pieces are separated, and you could resize this, but it's going to be a lot trickier because we do have the 8x10 photo on the inside. I'm offering the separated master, but I'm going to say right now this is a very, very advanced separated master. So basically what you use it for is so that you could resize it if you wish, and then sort out your pieces and add kerf. Again, you would need to figure out how to resize it so that your middle could be a 5x7 or maybe a 4x6. But again, that's a lot more advanced. Okay, and then the last thing is the cut by color. Like I said, all of the pieces have a kerf offset. The inset you can cut out of any wood, but you do need it to have the center placement so that you know exactly where everything needs to go and that you can add your frame on top along with your picture. Let me go ahead and open one of the cut by color so you can see what those look like. So you've got the 1 inch square, which we can select, maybe, there we go, 1 by 1 inch. We do have scoring detail on some of these. This is the frame. So I recommend using a double-sided wood. That way you can score the numbers on the back and cut. And then you can also score your frame on the top. And it's going to look good on both sides of your wood. I do mask my wood when I'm placing wood that I need that's going to be face down, just so that it protects it and makes cleanup easier. So you would basically go through and cut each one of these out with your wood, and then your acrylic inset you would cut out of, I used 1/8 inch acrylic and I'm using 1/4 inch wood so that you can protect your picture. So let's jump over to the assembly. Okay, so we are going to start placing our pieces. I have already sorted like I normally do, 1 through 10, 1 through 10. Oh, where is my 1? Oh, there's my 1. 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 20 through 21 through 30, etc. Make sure that when you are placing your pieces down, you are looking to make sure your number is legible and right side up. And then we are just going to dry fit everything. So the 2, we want it right side up. We just flip it over and place it down. Okay, so now that we have it all placed, we are going to work through and start taping. Now I actually am way behind on getting these ready for the file club. So I am going to avoid my painted parts because I painted them today. So I'm gonna work through and tape up everything that's not painted and see how that works. So those are all lined up. You're gonna push our painted our pieces into place. Again, we're just gonna avoid the painted parts since I painted them today. Okay, so I kind of gave up on not touching the painted parts, so hopefully this still works. We're going to grab another backer, same size. We are going to set it on top, and then we are going to flip the whole thing over so we can apply glue. I like to use type Mon 3. I just grab my jug and pour it right onto my backer. I use a silicone scraper brush thing to spread all my glue out. And then if I feel like I've got too much where it's pooling, I will actually scrape some back off. You really want some nice ridges through your backer, but you don't want it to be pooling. Now that we've got that done, we can flip this back over, place it right on top of the backside of the quilt, and then we are going to quickly flip it back over again. I would normally recommend that you weigh it down and let it dry, but of course I'm a risk taker and I decided to take all the tape off, mostly because I was short on time. And so I am removing all of the tape carefully because it is still very wet. At least the glue is, and you can see I'm jacking it up a bit, but in the end it worked out fine. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add the frame. First, we're going to add the mahogany frame. When you look at the inset, you will see scored lines. That is so that you can properly line up your frame. So I'm going to add glue. I'm going to use my silicone brush once again to dab the glue and get it spread evenly on my frame. Now we are going to lay it down, looking at our score lines to line it up. And now we're going to move on to adding Velcro. So this Velcro I found at Home Depot. It holds 3 pounds. It is sticky on both sides, and I'm cutting small strips to place into the frame. Now you can see that I have scored rectangles on the inset piece itself, showing you where to place the Velcro. Now I'm going to take the inside frame and I am going to press it down right on top of the other sticky side of the Velcro that is exposed. And now it's time to add our acrylic. So we're going to peel our paper off the acrylic and place it right into the frame. You can see that the acrylic has little feet to keep it in position but off of the Velcro. And now we can go ahead and place our frame back in and admire our beautiful new quilted 8x10 frame. Now at this point I have not sealed it, and so I'm going to remove my acrylic and my photo and take it downstairs, and I'm just going to spray it with some spray shellac to finish it off. Now let's jump over to the quilt without frame and we can review those files as well. let's go ahead and review the quilt. Just like the square diamond frame quilt, we have cut by color, we have the master files, and then we also have a DIY. So let's start with the master files. Just like the frame, you have the shared line master and the separated master. If we open the separated master, you can see again all of the pieces are separate and the number is grouped with your piece. You can resize this, let's say to 16 by 16. And then you can separate out all your pieces and sort them however you wish. Okay? And then you can add your own curve. That's how the separated master would be used. You cannot cut it as is because you will have double lines because they are all shapes. You have the shared line master again, we talked about earlier. All the lines are shared. You can use it as a backer if you wish. The DIY will fit on one piece of Glowforge wood, which is, it's going to be 18.5 by 10.85. The files are actually formatted to 9.2 is your finish size. And you'll see that all the pieces again are numbered. This is so that you can score and cut your backer and then score and cut your design side. And then this is mirrored so that you can easily place it onto your backer. I wanted to give you guys a quick tip on what I do with DIY quilts. I like to mask the back and place it face down into my laser. I will then cut and score the entire quilt as it is seen here. So we'll let it go ahead and do its thing. It's always fun to watch time lapse, especially when it's a clean cut. So now I'm going to remove the outer piece of wood, my scrap wood, and I'm going to steal the masking from my backer, which is a perfect size, and I'm going to apply it to the top of my quilt. This way I can remove all the pieces all at once, and it's a clean way for me to transport my quilt and make sure I haven't lost any pieces. Jumping over to the cut by color. Cut by color is sorted by color. There are two files for your cherry. Again, the files are sorted so that they are following wood grain from left to right, right to left. So when you load your wood into your laser, you want to make sure your wood grain is flowing horizontally in your laser and not vertically in your laser. You will work through all of these pieces just like the other cut by colors and cut each one at a time. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets to cut. Let's go ahead and jump on over to assembly. Okay, so just like the other quilt, I'm going to grab my color planner and I'm going to have all of my pieces sorted into piles, and we are going to dry fit all the pieces onto the backer. Okay, so now we are going to flow right into taping. We are going to focus on lining up pieces, looking at your straight lines that the pieces should be making, and then applying tape. Then we can move on to flip and glue. Again, you don't want it to be pooling, but you do want a good amount and ridges in your glue. So at this point, we would flip it back over. I would typically weigh it down and let it dry overnight. Now I am going to go ahead and oil all my pieces. I've been trying Odie's oil. I'm not 100% sure if I love it because it takes a really long time for me to apply it in comparison to some of the other oils out there like tongue oil or even like a spray. I can get it done in about maybe 5 minutes, and I feel like the application of Odie's oil is a lot more time consuming. So if you guys have any ideas of how I can improve my time adding this oil, please let me know and comment below. But it does smell fantastic, so I will commend Odie's oil for that. Okay guys, that's it. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. Make sure to subscribe to check out more tutorials like this. Thanks so much. Have a great day.